me, because I think it's confusing my,
It said the UNNC one this time, right?
yes, but I even use, yes, I did, that's my job. Remember when it starts, you just close the window.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, sweet. That was fun.
Hey. Let's talk to you. Good. How are you?
Good.
All right. Yeah, I was gonna say, you look a little tired. You don't want to tell people that, but you do look tired.
You look worn out, man.
No, I didn't say
Did the
that.
truck hit you? Did the truck back over you or what? Yeah, how did you know? I didn't know. But I got that truck, man. I got that truck. It rolled over, but I
said,
I didn't take it down. I didn't take it down. I did take a man down. It knocked me down. No, I'm good. It's transition. Okay. Yeah, thank you, Madison.
Right?
Just want you to know.
This lady
Want you to be so.
This lady called the church. They said her daughter had surgery and was successful last week. Today she called to say her daughter had surgery and it was not successful.
Oh my.
The same.
And it's the
Same daughter?
Yes, and it's
Same
like,
surgery?
I don't know. I'm thinking this woman is having some mental
Oh.
issues.
Did she need some help or?
I was talking it over with other folks at the church. Gotta stay in touch with her and kind of,
She needs.
yeah, watch her.
Yeah.
So I said, well, how does she sound? I was like, she sounded steady. It's just that her story completely changed,
Yeah.
and that makes you go,
Yeah.
what's going on with you? I look at the TV and I see me.
There you are. Okay. I guess I could pause it.
Oh, why is it? It's not recording, is it?
Yes, recording.
Oh, boy. You have to, that's a lot. You gotta tell people when they're being.
I know, yeah, you do. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. We are doing. Okay.
So my goodness, what are we gonna do about Paul? He's gonna remain in his position until for this term, right? And then next term.
Well, this term's over in June.
Yeah.
You need a treasurer,
Yeah.
so it's like one more meeting.
This, we're so nice and early, my goodness, wow,
Yeah,
impressive bunch.
we're about that. We're about that. That's how we roll. That's how we roll.
You're
Watch David.
You know,
What do you do fighting champion of justice and peace?
what do I do?
No, I know what you do, but what did you do?
Let's see, what is
I
today?
know what you do.
what is today?
Yeah, so, let's see, I did a podcast interview.
Okay,
I did,
good. That's always good.
Did you say anything about UNNC?
No.
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 Can make some.
What else did I do? I had 7 good calls with donors.
Okay,
good.
good.
Talk to the people who are doing my fundraiser next week.
Okay.
Oh, I know, I started out my morning with somebody who lives in South Robertson. Who got introduced to me and found out we had a lot in common and.
What's up? Where is South Bronx? What is that?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
This is part of the audit.
And just a reminder, I heard that there is some funding in our like outreach efforts. Like there's like 2,500 in it and we still have money left over, so we can use it, right?
Wait a minute, in our budget or in the city's budget?
In our budget at UNNC.
UNNC meaning
Yeah, us.
our,
Or, yeah,
okay.
Yeah, whatever Paul tells us we have, yeah.
because the church that we do the parking is working on public safety. Last time they had 60 people
Right,
and I paid for it, their
right,
lunch.
right.
This time it'd be nice if UNNC paid for it.
Oh, it sure would be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just need to.
Well, that would be 25.
We're live,
Oh, no, of course not.
we're live.
Got it, yeah, so. I'm gonna suggest we allocate, up to $200 for refreshments.
6:15. Okay. And Michelle, how was your day?
Sure.
What you do today? If you can tell me. Not even tell me.
Got through school stuff, everybody is really done,
Yes,
you know, but
They're
we're
done
not,
for
we're not, we're not really done, they're done, you know.
They're done.
I'm kinda feeling I'm
Just
kinda done
school year
too. I see, we're not done,
We're not
their
done.
school year's over.
no, not
No,
yet,
not yet.
that's it, we feel done,
Oh,
but we are not done.
yeah.
And I'm just, we have
They
about,
got that type of
yeah,
attitude.
we have like another 10 days, so.
They got that, oh yeah,
Hey.
we've done all the tests. And
It'll
kids,
fly.
in the kids world, yeah, it's a lot.
I mean, it's been 6 weeks to in April already, and I feel like that's just flown.
Yeah.
So
You know,
this time of year it's just, you know, everything all at once culminating in here.
graduation, prom.
Yeah. Yeah, my second girlfriend's 18 now. And she graduates high school in 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, and she goes to college in the fall, so. it's
Oh
really-
my gosh.
How was, did she go to a prom?
She did,
That's a big,
yeah.
Clearly you had a good prom. You were in.
I didn't go to prom, didn't go to prom. I didn't do stuff like that. Like, this place, man.
The eager beaver who loved school didn't go to prom.
I didn't go to prom.
Did he tell you the story of how he loved school and
No.
getting up in the morning on Friday and bushy tail?
No.
What child does
That's
this?
great.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
That's why he's our president.
yeah, that's fine. Make my mom happy.
Yeah.
I like school. I don't know that I got up.
Yeah.
Ready to go,
Yeah.
except for the first day of school. I was always so excited.
Yeah,
So
that's
that
when
you'll
you,
love the first day.
that's when you wear your new shoes.
Yeah.
Your crayons.
New clothes, yeah.
It smells so good.
Coming
Yeah.
back and
Yeah.
your teeth.
Fresh notebooks. The trapper keeper. That's right.
All
Nowadays, it's been backpack.
What type of lunchbox do you have?
Mhm.
You got a Batman or a Superman?
Now you're really.
Buying shoes specifically for gym class. I remember those days. That's fun.
Used to love lunch bills. I didn't like bringing my lunch.
Mhm.
I think maybe I had an Archie lunch.
Sugar, da, 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 you are my candy girl, and you got me watching you.
We have Greg on tape.
That was a monkey song, right? Was that the monkey song?
That was
That was
neither.
No,
Whose song was that?
Sugar was,
Yeah.
it was a.
Is it like Four Tops or?
No, I think that was an Archie song.
It was an art, like, yeah,
It's like, and
That's
then
a
might have been
Archie song.
the Archies.
Yeah, it's an Archie song.
But let me look this up.
but I don't think it was from the band from Chicago Strip.
No.
No.
But they used to play it on the cartoon,
Oh, okay, interesting.
because I definitely do the cartoons.
Yeah. I really got you, I remember the music.
Cartoon Saturday. That was good living.
I always hated Wiley Faye.
Well,
Did you?
So mean.
Yeah. He's really
I felt bad for him.
Me too.
Well, he never died. He always,
He got some snatched up.
Yeah. He
he
got
was
that.
so mean.
I know.
He was just hungry.
Yeah, the
It
next
wasn't
one
me.
was the Archies.
Okay.
Archie, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind nostalgia,
Mhm.
Saturday morning. So.
I was so excited to see my first Roadrunner when out west.
Oh, really?
I was like, I kind of thought it would be a little different than that. I mean, it looks like the cartoon, but size, I guess I don't know, it was weird.
You want his neck to be longer?
I don't know, it just wasn't really what I was expecting.
I started disliking Bugs Bunny because he rarely got it and he always triumphed and I got tired of it.
Yeah, he was.
Just like I felt a little sad for Tom.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But you felt for the coyote?
Was it the same kind of neatness?
No.
Oh, I
Tom,
thought Tom literally wanted to eat.
he wanted to eat the mouse.
He wanted to eat.
What's the difference?
But
He just didn't have as many Acme toys.
he kept slamming into the wall as Jerry ran into the little mouse.
Yeah. I think he got something against the coyotes.
Coyote just. Mean.
He was
was hungry.
Wiley, that's all wrong, he was Wiley.
He was hungry. He
Why
was in the desert.
That's true.
They were
scared.
At
See,
least
as you're a
Tom,
kid, I didn't think.
at least Tom could have, purred.
Gone to the kitchen.
Being when they were friends,
Oh,
when they
And sometimes they
actually would play well together once.
Mm.
Yeah, Jerry always won.
yay for the mouse.
Well, we have 3 minutes before starting. Well, we have a quorum.
And Paul won't be here in.
Oh.
No, he said that in the emails, he's out of
Okay.
town, that's why he sent his package.
Okay, so I'm going to. We still need to wait till Tom.
Right, 3 more minutes. We have a participant or is it just
Yeah,
us?
we have.
Oh, I can't, yeah, please keep an eye on that, so I don't.
It looks
miss-
like just us.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
This is really something. What, is this what happens when it gets near the end of the term? Where are the people? That's very different.
Well, no
Okay,
funding
well,
requests, so it's gonna be.
We have a detailed budget report. So,
I hope it's in there. He sent it. I didn't load it into the packet though. But I did print out,
yeah, what he said.
and it's so teensy, but I did
Yeah, I
send
can read it.
it.
Time comes.
Yeah, draft 2023-24
It's in the
in
packet.
the email, I don't know if it's in the packet.
Well, there's nothing in the packet because even the agenda, I thought I put the agenda in there.
It's the minutes or the agenda.
No, I put the agenda in there.
I saw
I put the agenda in there.
the training report in the
The
packet.
agenda in there, so I don't know where. Guess I could Google check it to see what happened. Yeah.
It said that the training report uploaded,
Oh,
and there was a whole lot of stuff in there.
Yeah,
Was that not the April agenda, Greg? Because that's the one that links.
no, it should be May, it should be.
I clicked
But the
the
link on the agenda
uh-huh.
takes you to the April packet.
I
the link took me to this earlier today, which is just.
It's your
The
minute,
minutes from last month, but it says May 2023,
Yeah,
right?
so it should be the right folder.
But I don't think
But
that
when I
one's-
clicked on this, I clicked on this link, and I think she's right, because I saw April stuff in there. Okay.
but
This is
April
all-
stuff's in it, but is it the
No,
May
it's
folder?
the-
Yeah,
April folder, the May folder.
The May folder only has last month's minutes.
yeah, so it's in the April folder. Do you see training for 5/11 and 5/16?
Okay, I think it's time.
No, we got 1 minute.
I see.
John is going.
Okay. And again, can everyone be responsible for seeing if anyone is trying to enter?
Yes.
Now it's.
Okay. All right, it is 7 p.m. We're calling the meeting to order. I have to remember this is not church. I was gonna say we're opening with prayer. We're not gonna do that. All right, but first we're gonna review the agenda. So can we have the?
Oh, yeah.
agenda? And we don't have
Is that
any,
it?
And
Yes, that's it.
You can enlarge it, you can,
Yeah, we can scroll down through it. So we have our reports from the executive committee. Any general announcements come before that. We have one funding request. And committees. Oh, we have some committee. We wanted to have further discussion on Earth Day and the elections. Planning and zoning had something to present. And that's it. We wanted to talk about e-blast, and that's the agenda for tonight.
The approved agenda is presented.
1 second, where's the portion where we talked about the labels or the hand rank?
The hand
Hand
crank.
crank. Uh-huh.
We did last
Yeah.
Approve
month,
that.
so it just needs to be approved by governing board, wasn't on the agenda for the governing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're good for.
Cause he's
Perfect.
last year. Yep.
The only thing we have for funding this time is the storage, and then you wanted to add meal for.
So refreshments to use for outreach for a May 31st public safety at Amos Memorial CME Church.
My concern is that was not on the agenda.
But this is something that has already been allocated. So since we're already allocated, it's not like I'm asking anything extra and above what is.
You're trying to bring it under the old business arena.
I guess. I'm just saying, well, I
That
don't
would
know.
be that would be the.
Okay.
I think. And, okay, I got refreshments for, what was it for?
Public safety
Public.
at Ames Memorial Scene.
Where is that?
It's right over by Gramercy Apartments.
It's on Cimarron and Washington.
Washington.
So there's been a motion to receive the agenda. There's been an addendum or an item added.
Well, since it's old business, I don't think you have to do.
Okay,
It's not, so we can't add it as
We're
a
not
separate
adding
item.
okay, it's old business.
The allowing it is because we already have money in that area, so
Right.
the executive board is not allocating the new funds.
Okay,
So,
so I need a second for the
Second.
agenda.
but,
You moved, you can't.
I'll second.
Okay, and all those approve, show of hands.
Here, here.
Oh, great, for you to say here. Next time we do some Cheerio. All righty, so let's see, roll. Greg Jackson is here, Paul King is not. Sarah Long Henry is here, I'm here, Grace Yu is here. Okay. Thank you for being here. So any general announcements, public comments?
Everyone here is familiar with the fact that about a month ago, there was a fire at the Southwest LAPD station.
No,
No, you're not.
no,
Okay, so just FYI, there was a fire at the police station. Yes.
Hmm.
on King,
Yes.
okay.
Cause and severity of the fire.
Well, it took out the front portion of the front door kind of area. They're working on it. Who knows how long it will take, and it was who was not happy with life in general. She said,
Oh, so
Maybe sit at the table.
You're
How are you? Okay, okay, good. Any other?
All right, and then I wanted to add, we were contacted, and Greg and I were contacted by Eric He works for Miguel Santiago. He is a field representative. And he just reached out saying, I would love to connect with you to see if there are any potential avenues for collaboration moving forward. So I just wanted to make you aware of that.
Which area does he represent?
You know, Assemblyman Santiago, I don't know.
What
I have to
footprint,
look it
what
up.
footprint does he?
He
The
was,
office is on Fourth Street.
Harvard Heights and a little part of Angeles Vista. I think we're redistricted out of,
I think so too,
unless he still has a smudge of Harvard.
it's possible.
Okay.
So that would be the question for him to see if he's even. I'll ask him to see
If he's even within.
which streets, I'll be very specific, which streets does he serve as in our footprint? If he doesn't serve our area then.
You know, some or maybe a lot of the kids might be attending schools. You know.
In our area, even. though-
In his district.
In his district.
Or that park, I mean, again, I don't know where it's somewhere over by Harvard Heights that the lines
Okay,
made, so he might represent, for example, Normandy Park, which is not in our footprint, but is a park that serves our stakeholders.
okay.
Okay.
But, you know, it's nice that somebody reached out. All righty, so any more public comments, general announcements?
Additional public comment here. The Del Rey Neighborhood Council went ahead and sent a support letter in regards to the Murphy drill site. They sent it in to the commission, and we got a copy of it, so that's about it.
All right. You know, did you finish about the Southwest Police Department other than there was
Other than,
damage?
well, other than that, there's damage in the, you know, it'd be nice if we did something for morale, so I'll wait until old business to further. I just thought I'd let you guys all know in case you weren't aware of the fact that Southwest has been impacted by a fire.
That's a nice way of saying.
Not right, but yes. Okay.
All right, so we're moving on now to reports, and our first one is with the secretary's report. Was there comment?
No, I said I had to admit something.
And someone's calling in on the phone.
Oh, all
So
right.
let me minimize this. And then. Where's your file?
it's in that executive committee.
This one right here?
Yeah. So it's above the agenda.
This one?
Yep.
And
Miss Sarah.
All right, so here was our, here are our minutes from last month. Typical attendees, we had several guests, we had our opening, approval of the agenda, public comments. Love those.
then there's that move over someone.
We had, exec committee business, which was, let's see, my report, Paul's report, Paula's report, and Greg's report. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Funding requests, we had several of these.
So.
That's how I thought we did have 400.
We did,
We did.
but
we
it
just
wasn't
didn't-
put on the governing board agenda.
Got it.
Perfect. So we'll have to make sure that that's, I think I made a note to make sure that's,
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, but Greg doesn't know what we're talking about.
that's why I'm making it.
Oh, you're not gonna tell us now?
No, remember Thursday, the labels that Dennis wanted for the radios?
Oh,
It
yes.
wasn't, yeah,
So it has to be on the next agenda for June 1.
Yes, oh, right. They wanted to, on the handprint, they
I
wanted
remember
to.
that.
Yes.
From the exec.
It just wasn't on the
Yes.
regular agenda, so we
Okay.
couldn't do that. It's not a big deal.
All right,
I recommend approval of the minutes as presented.
a second. All in favor?
Here,
I'm supposed to say cheerio.
Cheerio.
here.
And now we're to the treasurer's report. which I don't-
Okay, so,
Paul's not gonna be with us this evening. I know. Do you have?
He did send a draft budget.
Yes, I was going to see if she could pull it up and make it bigger
What, the,
for him to see.
I don't know, but I have it, but
Yes, can you pull it up so that he can read it? Oh,
Okay, why don't we, yeah, well, she.
If she gets to be a co-host on this, if you guys.
oh, yeah, I can just join this.
If you
Okay,
join the
that makes
same
sense.
as co-host,
We
then
can
we
do
would
that.
be able to show the budget online.
thank you. Great.
Okay, so she's joining in. You're gonna have to admit her when she comes in.
Yes, ma'am.
And then we
And
can
make her
clearly
vote.
see, so you won't be staring at that little. It was nice big when I got ready to print it, it was like.
Of course it's big.
Because it's all on one page.
Well, my thing is, I'm looking at this, I'm looking for what's projected through the end of the year and.
Well, he's saying it's 8, he thinks the rollover is 8,000, whatever.
Like
He's got it.
300 or
He
500.
has it at the top. At the top is the amount maybe rolling.
Okay.
Sarah, oh, and then,
Thank you.
Okay, friends, calm down.
we didn't know if you saw the posting up there.
I know, I'm excited. Okay, so now do need help with this part, because I
Yes,
can't
look at the
see,
fair screen.
I can't
Perfect.
see.
Well, he has to
Okay,
do
Sarah.
and make it.
It's
That's her.
Oh, wait.
in little dots
Mhm.
and.
Make it a co-host.
Which one?
There it is.
This one?
There you go.
Okay, so I'm not the only person who has this problem.
I can't see.
I can't see it either. Okay, okay.
Did you make me a co-host? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
Try again. There we go.
Okay. I mean, it's not a fault flaw of the equipment, it's,
No,
I just
I
can't see.
I was
We
discussing
can't
this
see.
with
Yes.
Teresa, like, how can I do tomorrow night? And it's,
You need bigger glasses.
no, I'm gonna leave the computer here and I'm gonna sit next to the computer.
there it is.
There we go. There we go.
Can you make that bigger, Sarah? Because I
Yep.
can't see that either.
If you can move that slide.
But that's not the document.
Yes, it is.
I need that first.
Yes,
I need that first.
say where we are.
I remember from my budget days. I got it.
Sorry, trying to move the thing.
It's okay.
He said he can do it.
Well, I think I can do it, but I guess
There you
Now
are.
it's saying my connection's unstable, which is lovely.
I don't have access. I'm rolling over, but I can't.
No,
Right, because she.
It's perfect. Screen.
it's not blowing up like.
Yeah, make it blow up.
Don't make it blow up. Make it bigger. Okay, there, what was that?
Yeah.
It's even bigger.
Where is it now?
It's a spreadsheet.
But
No, it just takes a while. Okay, not everything is instantaneous, people.
See, it's the same size.
It is in 2023.
but that's
okay.
weird.
That's okay.
Okay, between that
I'll
thing
go
and
up to
something.
it. I'll go to like
Yeah.
I'm.
There you press her. Yeah, let's get
Wait a
an
minute,
appointment.
what? You see to the left, you see the little thing that says budget on the left?
Yeah,
That might be where the
Okay,
supplement sheet is.
Okay, hold up. No, don't touch it, please.
Okay.
Can go up, please?
that's the top of the.
Well, go down. Go down.
It's like, I knew what you
There.
meant. Go up, go down.
Go down, so.
Yeah, but
Can you see if any of these are active, active connect, no, this, the
We can't.
the pie, can you click on the pie?
No,
it's not active.
But what happens if you go open with?
No, that doesn't work. Go to,
But I think,
no, wait, please. Go to budget allocation, please. Which is over here, yes.
Yeah, it's not
Is that not active?
Okay, but I see,
You can't move anymore?
what's the thing to the
No,
left though
that's the
that
bottom
says
page.
draft budget to the left of the tab to the left? Up at
Up
the
up
top,
here, up here?
yeah, the one that says draft budget.
Yeah.
Under recording.
Yeah, I see that. I want to look at that
Under,
later.
no, under the word YouTube. Look under the word YouTube.
Oh,
Yeah, I see that. I don't want to go to that right now.
Well, that's what we're,
That's not what I want to see right now.
well, he hasn't,
I know.
We're still in a meeting.
I know. Let
So-
me look at stuff. Okay. All right, and none of these tabs are active because I need to see how the money was spent and then what was left.
no,
No,
those
no.
don't appear
I
to
can't
be
see that.
working.
Okay, so I just have to work with that. Okay, come up to these, please. And in these tabs up here, please.
Yeah, I don't think.
higher up, higher,
higher up,
under where it says live
YouTube.
YouTube, all the way up.
all the way up to live YouTube. There's a blue tab that says draft 2023-24 budget. And it also has your name. on it. Kurt, well, your name.
Okay,
I'm
one more.
sorry, I'm not. even-
Perfect, there you go. Over to the
Oh.
right a little more.
Those are the minutes.
Okay, next over.
Next one,
Oh,
that one.
that's the same.
That is.
Oh.
That's what I was, remember because I opened it.
What about this one?
That's where she was.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It came up the same
Got it.
size.
Okay, that's fine.
Sorry.
Okay, so my concern as we look at the budget point is that
Oh, you know what, that,
Where's this document? Is it on your
Here it is.
computer?
Is this-
Okay, yes, that's what we're looking at.
that's the
That's
tab at the bottom.
That's.
The other was a screenshot of the,
Yeah.
so his tabs at the bottom are where he named.
That's beautiful. That's the paper you have to scan.
yes.
So the 8,800 rollover.
Is what he's thinking, based on at the moment current spending.
But the issue with that is that
No, he's saying this is, we have spent or project to spend up to that amount. That's what's gonna, at the moment, what's gonna be left over. And that's assuming he remembered the $400.
stop, please. The way that this normally works, if this is the budget for the month, the rollover amount is like a reoccurring amount as at this point. Unless he said in his report, this is what he's projecting and this is not based upon any current calculations, then this is the rollover at this point. But if he said, based upon other monies that we know we're going to spend next month, that's it. That's the dollar amount, then that's fine. I just don't know. Laura's saying that is what he means, but that's not how I used to use the budget. But you say you know.
He announced it at the board meeting.
Okay, all right. So he said that. Okay, so can you come down or whichever,
Scroll down.
so I can see the more, whichever term I should stop.
Sure.
Stop, please. Okay, continue. All right. Continue, please. Are there any other tabs down on this? On any other tab?
22-23 expenses to date. That's it, though, those three tabs at the bottom.
Okay. And I think I saw, well, I think I saw like the audio visual service Zoom. Okay, my only concern is that the money that was allocated for last month, if that was actually reflected in this budget, if those bills have hit. And you saying that you know that they have been, but I don't see it. Yes.
It's not that they've hit yet, but that
He projected.
he
projected
projected
it.
it during the course of the meeting.
Okay.
That was his presentation.
Yeah.
Okay.
And because he and I discussed
Right.
offline.
Right.
He's eliminated elections, we don't have any elections, so that's a 0.
Right.
Eliminated anniversary, because we don't have an anniversary, so that's a 0. He moved from this year's budget, essentially, he
Are
put
you talking about,
categories.
no, are you currently talking about future budget, or are you talking about this budget?
For this budget, what he did, because he had to do it quickly,
Yes.
is he took the current 2022-2023 budget. And essentially moved it forward, but eliminated elections, eliminated anniversary, so.
So you're
So, yeah,
asking by 23.
Yeah, and I'm not asking about that yet.
For,
420.
for
I
this
understand.
next year, and took
Understand.
that amount of money, because we have the same 32,000. Took that amount of money and moved it to neighbor NPG. No, I'm just telling you what I know he did.
I know, I
That may
believe,
not be, hold on,
I believe you, I
Laura,
believe you.
his question wasn't that.
I believe you, thank you, and I appreciate that. But that's not my question for you, my question was that. I forgot my question.
You just want to
Items
hear
that
that.
were paid,
Yes, were they reflected in the current budget? And I don't see that, I'm not saying you can calculate for that, I'm just saying, I just don't see it, that's my only statement. That's
Right,
all I'm saying.
right.
So if we know that he has done that, then it's good for us to take this $8,000 to say that's our projected rollover.
That is our projected rollover. Because that, we all understood that if it's over 10,000, we'd be in trouble. That we would lose that extra over 10,000. He was very clear on that. This is allocating the 3,300 we thought we were gonna spend for the new equipment to allow for Zoom, which we put on hold, because we may not be doing Zoom. It might not be a
Wait a minute.
requirement.
So you're saying that the projected rollover doesn't have the money taken out for the Zoom equipment, because we haven't ordered that yet, we don't.
Exactly.
right, because I continued to table that because we don't know what's gonna happen with the state. But even with that, we are under $8,000.
Yeah, we're at 8,800,
At the moment, unless something else comes up.
which when we go to old business, I will be requesting additional
Well,
funds.
right,
Yeah.
right, so we're gonna, I mean, this budget is our pro forma. The only thing I don't know, because I was looking at it too quickly, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he's not supposed to include the 8,000. I think we can only allocate 32, and then we have to re-vote on it when they officially give us. The
Yeah, we don't put our
Rollover,
projected
right.
rollover, we leave it blank, and then when they tell us what our rollover is,
Right,
then we add it to the
right,
budget.
so
Okay.
if his budget 40,000 and not 32, then.
But it's not, Laura, it's gonna be 32.
Right, 32.
Yeah.
And I did check in the 250-page mayor's proposed budget. I
Yes,
did find the proposal for neighborhood councils, and it is 32,000.
okay.
Okay.
Do we have his proposed budget for the next year?
That's what he sent out.
That was
Isn't-
the thing that I.
That's not that?
That is.
2023 working budget, yeah.
Yes. that's
2023, that second spreadsheet with all the numbers.
right.
No, this is the budget, this is the current budget for the year.
I don't think so.
Can I see if it's the same one that's on here? Because this one says 23, 24.
Right. He just
You can
took,
see that, yes.
yeah, he took the 22-23 budget and altered it slightly to be a draft 23-24.
Which is the way you do it, but
Right.
I'm just.
That's the same thing that's on here.
Okay, that's fine.
And that's because we just have to vote on it in June when we don't know everything.
Oh, yeah, which is every year.
And then, exactly, and then we have a new board in July and they may say, we don't want it this way at all.
Okay,
And we'll
all
vote
right,
again.
that's fine.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen because new board members, just like many of us, when we came on, we're like,
We said,
yeah, we're just gonna. One year, at least, like.
I understand, and also you're a good neighborhood council, but on a theoretical basis, sometimes you have new board members who've overturned the old.
Okay, that has not.
So, what we have, I'm just expressing some of my concerns about budget management. And I don't see certain things, so I can't drill down to it. The other board members are saying they have confidence that we will have 8,000 rollover, that's good, and we do have a draft budget. That's not this.
24.
23, this is not it.
That is what he has in the tab, because he's basically saying what we've done last year is our template for the next year.
Except for anniversary
And
and elections,
So
so
he-
more or less the same
Okay,
budget.
so
He's moved that.
I understand what everyone just said. That being said, I still don't have a budget in front of me. I have the concept of the budget, but we don't have the
The
proposed
actual.
budget. So what we need to have in June, between now and then,
Okay,
we need to see the budget. And then when we present the budget in June for our governing board, we need to be able to go down like so much money for any different section. So that we can not just say in theory, but this is what we're proposing. Well, it's still in theory, yes, ma'am.
I have a question, so, would outreach come to the board and say, well, we would like to have $2,000 for proposed
That
projects?
is best.
Okay,
It is best to say to each department. Do you want?
each committee.
Yes, each committee, yes.
Oh, we don't.
And
no, I'm just saying, what is the procedure? You would like the committees to come forward and say, this is our anticipated
Yeah.
amount?
And what I did in the past is I would say, okay, I'm making the budget. And then I would send it out to people and say, this is the budget. And then there was crickets. And we come into the meeting and then I said, this is the budget. And people say, okay, yeah, that's what we want. So yes, the best way is to say, what do you want?
and who does that? Is that Paul?
If I could. And he did ask if he should do it.
Yes,
Tell
he
about
should.
Rhode Island. Go ahead.
My question is, are you suggesting that email go out? And then executive has a special meeting before June 1, so that it's still recommending. You know, a single focus, special meeting, so it's still making a recommendation to the board, or are you suggesting that discussion happen at the board?
Let's just let it happen.
Happen at the board.
My thoughts, as you
No,
see,
I'm asking you.
as you see me, what's the word, wincing?
Yes, and choking.
No, it's fine, because it's not like we're going, it's just it's a standard template. We know where we put money in and
I didn't hear the answer to the question. You want to have the discussion at the board?
yeah, the board,
Yes, he said that's fine.
yes.
Oh,
I thought I actually put something.
was fine.
Yes.
I said this or that.
Yes. Okay, good. So we're done with the budget stuff?
Yes, I believe we are.
Yeah.
So, but I'm sorry, one more question. So we need to definitely have an answer. Do you think Shauna's gonna be effective? We need to have an answer before this budget regarding insurance for board meetings.
I can just say, no, we don't have to, because you can bring that up at governing board, that we need to have an insurance policy for $2,500 a year.
Well, I'm gonna get that quote. This time I really am. We have an agent, we can do it. But we're still trying to avoid it, and we're not getting good answers from the city.
And I really think we should avoid it. There's no reason why we should have to have an insurance policy for a city facility.
Well, the reason, right?
No, we know the reason, just saying that it's. But anyway,
The
the
city
point
should
is,
accommodate
if-
our request.
if not, then you bring it up at the governing
Right.
board.
And it's in the budget. That money is in this budget, weirdly enough. It's just that I'd rather it not be.
Okay. All right, we're moving on now to the vice president's report. Oh, that would be me. And
You want to see your screen or we could?
let's start with attendance, and I don't think I have anything. Let me just talk about attendance. So I realized, or it was, as we prepared for our last meeting, that Raheem Dawson, John Arnold, and Carlos Herrick had 3 consecutive absences that were not excused. So I reached out to all of them. I started off with the email. And
Or Ms. Paula, do you have anything you want to explain?
no,
Okay.
not for this, no. I just wanted to say, okay, I sent them all an email. Oh, I got it here on right after our meeting on Sunday, May the 14th. And I have not heard back from Raheem. Have not heard back from John.
John?
Arnold.
Yeah, we know about John. John has,
He's been working.
well, he has medical, family medical.
Oh,
So his is an excuse.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
So the same question with Carlos though, because
Now you know.
he has 3 consecutive absences. And the question is, how many more? Or do we
His
know?
term expires on June 30.
And then he's not coming back.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
So there's
Okay.
not really time for us to take an action.
Okay.
Ideally, he'll show up on June 1.
Do we know anything about Raheem? I mean, he's been responding, and so the message was, according to my records, you were absent 3/28 at a special meeting, 4/6, and 5/11 at governing board meetings. According to our bylaws, a board member may be removed due to absenteeism of more than 3 unexcused absences from duly noticed governing meetings. Are my records correct? If yes, were any of these absences excused? In other words, had you contacted an officer in advance to advise of your absences, please respond. And I have not heard back from.
Okay, I know on one meeting,
Mm-hmm,
I think the first one at Gramercy Place,
mm-hmm,
he attempted to log in.
mm-hmm.
That's still not the same as attending. So, but that is one issue, one time.
And
Wait a minute, hold on.
Okay.
Then at another time, I know that I think he was traveling, but that's not an excuse absence either. So,
it
yeah.
could have been, but yeah.
Well, no,
Talk to somebody.
Well, no, just someone just saying I'm not going to be there. It's just not an excuse absence.
No.
It's so.
It's why.
It's not. So yeah, we do have a concern in that area.
So Carlos, I reached out to, he did respond. And he said, I'm fine. Unfortunately, I've been not able to spend much time in Los Angeles due to the support of my mom. Her age requires more direct support from me these days. Although I'm not sure if I'm excused. Well, I told him I'm worried about that. Let's see, he said, acknowledged that in-person attendance was a requirement for being able to offer recognized vote. This is an absolute impact on my end due to travel challenges. If need be, I'm certainly available to call. And I asked him if he could be with us tonight, and he was unable to. And I also asked him, so he's actually got 4 consecutive absences going back to March 2nd. March 2nd, March 28th, 4/6, and 5/11. And right now he's unsure. So in reaching out today, he said, I realize that I do understand that the seat I currently occupy may be better served with a local resource for the immediate future. And that was his last. So I need to talk with him more, but it sounds like his mother's health is taking over.
Well, if he's going to be there, that means he's not going to be at the next meeting.
Right.
In June, and that will be his last meeting anyway, if he did come.
Right.
And if he did come, and if he came, his absences have been, even if they're excused, the quantity of them is sufficient for him to be moved, so. Just chalk it up, I mean, if he comes, good, if he doesn't,
Yeah, because who knows what can happen between now.
yeah. As far as Raheem, yeah, we need to follow up with him.
Yeah,
There's Ivy, who's we haven't seen forever. But her terms expires too.
oh, and Ivy, I thought it was Jackie, Ivy is not. Is that correct?
She's not coming back,
Okay,
but she, has-
Jasmine is.
yes.
yeah, but Ivy hasn't been here forever and did not respond to what's your status.
Okay,
Because I asked her if she was going to run, didn't run. That's been a couple months ago.
okay.
Okay, so that's,
All righty, so that leaves, I'm gonna follow up with Raheem. John is going to terminate at the end of this term.
No,
No.
John's another 2 years.
Carlos.
Terminate.
Carlos.
Oh, Carlos does,
Yeah,
but I
don't use that term.
oh, John,
Yeah.
term ends in June.
Yes, don't use that term.
John is just excused.
Good, medical.
Right, right.
Yes, yes, John is dealing with family medical issues, so his all of his absences are excused.
And
Okay,
how many do we allow in our bylaws for that?
three.
Three.
Let's say
Three,
that.
three excused?
But I said, no, it's three unexcused.
Okay,
So
but how many excused?
It doesn't say anything about.
Yeah, it doesn't,
You
limit-
guys said you.
it didn't limit.
It didn't
No.
limit on how
No.
many excused. Okay.
No. So,
But
Alright.
the issue, excuse me, the people that worked on this, the bylaws, please help me if I misspeak. The issue with this is that, one, we don't, if someone's going through something, we definitely don't want to tell everybody's business.
yeah,
And then if we know that the person is in good faith, good effort with us, then since we have that leeway, we would use that leeway. Other people that we, they've had 3 excuse absences, but they're not working in good faith, then there's more like a suggestion, like, you think you can do your work, or can you carry on? Then they may decide to just move on. And some people just may not show up. So we had all of the above. So it's not, there are rules, there are numbers, but there's also knowing the situation of our individual.
It gave the board flexibility in how to handle.
mhm.
Did I cover that well?
Mhm.
Oh, good for me. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Make their follow-up. So how many people, well, first I want to go back to Ivan for a moment. This is another reason why I oppose appointments, because when people are appointed, they don't have the same commitment. Just want to throw that in one more time, like.
He wasn't.
Yes.
And look at it, we're so proud of him. Yes.
The people, how many people, do you know, or is it appropriate to say how many people have had 2 unexcused absences, or do we not?
We should have that information, yes.
I don't have it here with me.
Okay, that's fine, but we
I
really,
didn't bring it
But
with
we
me,
do have
but
that.
we don't have a lot. That's why these 3 really jumped out. All of a sudden, there were 3 absences in
Well-
a row
thank you.
with no information as to what's going on. At least I didn't have it. Yes,
Well, it's like Jasmine, I mean, since we've been in person, we've struggled, we've only had
Yes.
13 people both times.
yeah, okay.
So that means we
Yeah,
have
that-
9 or 10 people, or whatever the number is, who are not showing up. Or more than, I mean, and some of the people who are showing up, 2 of the people showing up are brand new,
We can't start ineligible at this.
right, for other reasons. And it's incompetence,
And
but
how is Cornerstone coming,
You know what, I was gonna test that out today, but I didn't. Greg scared me. I said, I'm just gonna log in and see if it works. Because he said there was a glitch in it, and Greg turned it over to, would you talk about that? He turned it over to Gibson, and he reached out to Kyle. Who is over the training for the neighborhood councils. Kyle has not responded. Gibson said he would get right on it, but we don't have any feedback.
Yeah, so the issue with the Cornerstone which there are many, and in particular with the people, our 3 people, new people, they have not completed their training, which I've spoken with 2 of them within the last 72 hours about their training, one of them today. If there is a glitch with Cornerstone, I'll be the guinea pig on it this weekend. But so the miss somebody's account. So
I said, well, I'm the one who's like, don't mess yourself up.
don't do that. Yeah, go ahead.
I have to take my trainings.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
2 of 3.
And then it may be, if whatever the problem is, may be fixed by then. And it may be because he gave new passwords or something.
Right, well,
Go ahead.
Ed was trying desperately to log in the day before the board meeting,
Mhm.
and they had sent him a password that when he logged in, it said his password's expired. And then he spent the better part of the day trying to find someone to send him a new password. And when they sent him a quote new password, it was the same password
Yeah.
that had expired. Well, it could have been very old because.
Right, but who knows how they do this?
Yeah,
Right, so.
okay.
So.
So we're not
try-
gonna fault them.
Yeah, we can't fault them when
Yeah.
the system's flawed.
Cause I gave him every contact, I was guessing, is it,
It's Kyle. It's one person.
it's how, but it could have been Brizennio. I mean, in other words, there's several, I said, try this person, try this person, try this person. Here's a phone number, but when you call that number, it'll give you another number, just listen to the voicemail. None of it worked. Well, one of it worked, but then I sent him the wrong password.
All right, so this definitely is something that we need to look into, so you're saying you're looking into? Or
I will guinea pig it.
let's work on this together, since training is my thing as
I
well.
will let you know what I find
Okay, thank you.
on Saturday. After Miss Moon's back.
And then as far as training goes, can you show that now? The training
Oh,
report,
I don't know. Where is it?
I uploaded that.
There was nothing in the folder.
See, but I put it in the April.
Didn't see it in the April.
When I clicked off to the
It's not there. I'm
when I clicked on to the.
It's not there, Miss
agenda-
Paula. Let's move on.
So then let me just tell you, we have Jasmine, who is now ethics training has expired. It expired 5/6. And I emailed her once. I couldn't find it. Well, so I emailed her today saying ethics training expired 5/6. Funding training will expire June 3rd. Please renew your training as soon as possible. Be aware that your funding training renewal is fast approaching. So I'm gonna follow up with Jasmine as well to see what's going on. When I reached out to her before about a training, and I think that was code of conduct, she just did it immediately. So, other than that, we're good with training. We've got late June, Dennis has something coming up, and Christine Carlson has something coming up. Most folks are July, there's a few July, and then we're, on out to September, October, so we're the best we've been in a long time on training.
That's good to hear. Yes, ma'am.
Well, the official list of who won what, candidates have been released, although.
I think that that's an agenda item.
No, but all of them, when you're following up with Dunn to make sure there's no further glitch in Cornerstone, we need to have all of them take their training before July 1. Meaning, in other words, they're not gonna be on that, but, Michael Solo, all the people who are.
All the brand new people.
All the brand new people have to be in the system and trained before they show up. on or July 7, whatever. it is.
My question is that their term doesn't start until July the 1st. So I don't think that they can take the training until July the 1st.
Oh, no, they can pre-train. They usually get onboarded in advance because technically they should be trained, at least the code of conduct, on the 1st, because Dunn doesn't know when we meet at school. In other words, this is 99 neighborhood councils. So we could meet on, we're
So
not.
can you or Miss Lizzie send this Paula that list with their contact information, because we didn't have all their contact
We have-
information. We don't have all the
I
contact.
understand, we tracked down 2 additional, but we certainly were not given the one we were asking for, the clerk refused to give us.
So can there be,
Yeah.
Whatever you have.
Yes,
because I'm concerned that they can actually start the training.
right. Well, I'm concerned if Cornerstone's not working, it can't start.
Yeah.
And so that would, when that, Ms. Paula, when that correspondence goes out, it's like including Kyle and Gibson and those individuals to confirm that they can start their training now.
Okay, yes.
Because Dunn may have even a webinar that's quote onboarding for that we wouldn't necessarily know about.
All right.
Okay, anything
That
else, Ms. Paula?
concludes, that's it.
Okay, that was the vice president report, president's report. Yeah, the president and his committee of 2, which would be Greg Jackson and Ms. Dolores, are working on the handbook. A lot of stuff is in the corner of Greg Jackson to work on. He will get that done before June, for the June. The next thing was a call to service, which I wanted to conduct in the last meeting. With that, one of the major issues that we have is that you have, and this is in your organization, you have a few that are doing a lot. And it would be so much better if everybody did something in the area. And the way it is set up, if they're a representative of a certain area, at a minimum, they're meeting with the block club, or they're making sure that people from their neighborhood receive information about what's going on with the city, or they're sharing the news about what's going on. I mean, that's if you're a representative of a specific area. And then hopefully even forming a block club to let your people know, and then meeting with them to hear what they're doing. So I know that was addressed some, but I want to address it again in June.
Did you get the listing? I sent you a paper
Thank you.
of everybody in the meeting and every committee or organization they were part of.
All right, so then we'll emphasize that and say, this is what you're doing, and then complete the grid of like when they're meeting.
Okay.
Okay, and so that's that part. And then on the other thing is that we have some committees of 1 and 2 people, which is unacceptable. Well, it is what it is, but we can still reach out to people in our community to be on some of these committees. It doesn't just have to be us 4 and no more, you know? So recruiting people to serve on the committees based upon their area of interest, so we don't burn out people with stuff. So we want to stress that as we go into the next year, like spreading the word.
That's good.
Recruiting people to participate. If they only participate in one thing, that's their passion, that's good. Yeah, so that's my any questions on stuff? I know we talked about Earth Day, we talked about I guess I can talk about this.
Yeah, why not?
Well, this is under old business, e-blast. So the way that our communication was supposed to go out, and we can expand our ability to do this, is that our communication committee was supposed to be leading that effort. But that was when they had more people. A committee.
Yeah, when they had a committee.
And so,
I don't even know it's a committee.
well, it's a one-man show right now. Because he had a few people working with him. Because some of them were like pseudo contractors, but they were still working stuff. And then we had Gabby, who was a board member, working on stuff, but then she said she's not going to do that anymore. And so we just, I guess my point is like, from that point, all of us need to try to recruit people to do stuff. Like I was trying to recruit my friend that does Facebook, trying to recruit her to like build a communication. Trying to find people that they're interested in and say, yeah, you can do that. We have an economic development committee, you're an entrepreneur, do that. And some people may come and go. We had someone that wanted to do parks and recreation. This maybe 2 years ago. He came, and he got sick, then he's gone.
He came, that's it, he went.
He's out. So, but anyway, the point is like recruit, like you're trying to get people to join the Marine Corps. Yes, ma'am.
Well, we do have, in theory, 2 incoming board members, each of whom does a lot of social media. And I say in theory, because one is, God, I'm losing her name, we already appointed her, but then we haven't seen her.
Diana.
Diana.
Yeah.
Yes, we appointed her and we haven't
And we
seen her.
haven't
We haven't
Yes.
seen her.
Cooper?
Yes.
Well, she indicated that she had a commitment
Right,
until basically the end of the school year.
I agree with that. I mean, I wasn't expecting to see her, but the point is, I'm crossing fingers that we will see her. And the first thing she did when she came to the meet and greet was
Yes.
get on her phone and see what kind of social media we have. So I think she's a social media person.
Right.
Davina's a social media person. So I'm hoping, and then again, she didn't come to Earth, Davina didn't come to Earth Day, didn't participate after.
Who's Davina? I'm sorry.
She's the other person, man.
She's the other person around, but more
Let's be
importantly,
clear, she was running against Laura, but then we appointed Laura.
Right.
So now this one was.
Right. well, she was running unopposed, but on the,
Ballot, Laura's name was on there.
because they wouldn't take my name off, so I got 3 votes, she got 1 vote, I don't know who voted for me. I don't know who voted for her, I didn't vote. So, but I won, but I have to withdraw again, so that's a whole other thing, but we need to make sure she intends to be on the board. Because then we have to appoint her.
Again,
But she's a very much a social media person, is what I'm trying to say. So I'm crossing fingers that she's on our board and will help us with that.
and so again, so if Miss Lizzie, or you can share that list with Miss Paula so that we can reach out to them and say,
Right.
hey, welcome.
Right.
Let's see, let's have a party.
And I will say that Dolores has shown some interest in doing
In
outreach.
outreach.
Yes,
So
Oh, good.
that's good. So that's gonna be good. Yes, so we will work to get them trained. In my other.
But I was gonna say, the communications, there's other issues, like, for example, communications in theory, but we could reassign it, is responsible for making sure one way or another that our agendas are posted here and elsewhere, and Raheem doesn't have any bandwidth to do it. So I know, Teresa, we want to just ask them to do it.
But if we emailed to them, they would, but maybe we shouldn't even anticipate Raheem maintaining his chairmanship as
Right.
communications. I think we have a new board coming in and we
Yes.
need to revisit the chairs on all the
Yes.
committees.
Correct.
Yes.
So, and then, have
But
an
I'm
idea.
saying the duties, that's one of the duties.
And
Right.
that makes
Yeah,
sense,
in
that
the
is
past.
communication.
Well,
Or we can change it.
that is what I just said.
Yeah.
But I'm saying right now that duty is sitting there, but not being done there.
Okay.
And I don't mean that as a value judgment, I'm just saying that.
Okay, yeah.
If it's that important, I can email the,
People here.
South Seas Health
Why don't we just
Director.
add Teresa on the distribution?
No,
Don't
and
volunteer.
Monica, the park director, and say, hey,
Well, first someone has to ask Monica.
I did, when we started negotiating, working,
Okay.
meeting here, and she has a key for the, I already talked.
Oh, okay. Maybe I don't, no, I understand,
All right.
Okay, we're moving on.
Okay, so I would just add that I spoke with Ms. Cooper today about things and also I want to say those of us that are members of the club should not assume that people coming in understand the rules of the club.
Mhm.
And we need to walk them through it.
Mhm.
Because you know, they're like, where's this at? Where's that at? And so we should, as one person that I worked one time said, assuming nothing, you go over stuff. We don't assume that they're gonna figure out Cornerstone. We have to walk them through it. We don't assume that they understand what the committees are. We need to talk them through it. And even if we repeat it, you know, we may even say, well, I just want to make sure you know this, and then we start the conversation. And if they hear from 4 or 5 of us the same thing, that's good, because you know it's confusing to people. And like all the emails that they're receiving, like which ones are important? Yes.
Could we have,
Make more work.
well, it would be a little more work. Could we have in June and our own onboarding Zoom meeting with a maximum of 2 board members for the people who are brand new? They won't yet be board members, so we would not be violating the ground.
Or how about
Or in person.
have a buddy system? I mean, I mentioned.
Oh, yeah.
this.
That's
I'm gonna, you're not, like Diana needs a buddy, say, hey, I'll talk to you, let me help you, you need some help with Cornerstone, let's do it together,
Mhm.
here are some committees. You know, we kind of
Mhm.
pair up with someone to help them transition.
All
That's a good idea.
of the above.
That's a really good.
And I'm going to look at all of our committees and put together something, writing up what each committee does. So
That's
that we
already,
can-
that's there. It should be up there. It should be up there on the website.
Okay,
So
so
don't make
that,
more work for yourself.
yeah, people will have something to know what it is they might be doing.
Well, my only point about onboarding, because you're gonna have a handbook too, is if it's done in June and it doesn't involve a lot of board members, it can be completely on Zoom.
Right.
That was the only point I was making. We don't need to have an agenda and a public notice.
Yeah. Well, personally, I favor, for the sake of the organization, at least once a year, having a gathering of people. Feed them, meet with them,
Yeah.
talk with them, be
I
personal
was
with
just
them.
thinking of that.
And then maybe from that meeting, we can see which personalities click, and then you can like, I'll
Do the
adopt
buddy.
you,
Yeah.
I'll adopt you. And that can be like one of the objectives. like,
You're-
We're gonna see this gonna be a buddy, or the tripod or whatever. It's just,
Well,
It's another buddy then.
Who here besides me was ever in a fraternity or sorority? Only me.
I was in the Marine Corps.
Well, they,
Oh.
in fraternities and sororities, they have the big brother, little
Oh, right,
brother, or
right.
big sister, little sister. That's exactly what it is. It's a buddy. Someone who's.
Frank, did you finish? You said I spoke to Miss Cooper. Were you going to say anything?
No, I'm just saying, she trying to figure it out.
Okay,
Cause she was asking, well, which meeting do I go to? I need to go to meeting tonight. I said, no, you need to go to meeting tonight.
okay.
Yeah,
I told her she doesn't have to come to
And
this.
then
Yeah,
which, and
that
then
was confusing to me as a.
and then which days it, then, you know, so it's, we say it and we think people get it. But sometimes we don't even get it, like,
Yeah.
so it's worth repeating. So I know people are trying, but we need to work. Okay, let's move on, because
All right, so we're moving on to funding, and that is Grace. Public
Yeah.
storage unit.
So look at what I said, the prices, they're looking to up our price again from 187 to 2, I don't know.
280, 280.
Well, I have, we're paying 2,400 annually. That's what you said. Our price was raised to 2868 in 3 months.
Yeah. So,
When we sign a contract, we don't have.
oh, I looked at the contract. They can up it at any time after 30 days. It was a nightmare. That's why I was like, what the heck is this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We moved everything to be 187 and now you're telling me it's gonna go back up to like 240, whatever. And I went, they're crazy.
Well, they're not that crazy, crazy as a fox, and so they're making money.
Well, and so I'm like, no, you can't do this to us. So I got an additional 3 months at the 187 price, but they're gonna come back and put it up. So I'm like, why are we gonna spend $2,800, almost 2,900 for storage? This is wrong.
Well, it's wrong, but what's the
Yeah,
alternative?
what's the alternative?
Well, I could just say, and this is before I was on the board, it's just hearsay, but there were past presidents who stored things, but over time, those things were lost. So Dev Camp had a lot of stuff, Ethan Falk was no, was a board member, but he had things, and over time they get lost, so when we give it to board members, I don't know how we would track that. We would, well,
Well-
that's what it was, I'm not sure what you were gonna suggest.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say have a committee people, like, you know, it's, a lot of it is paper, some of it is like paper plates and cups and napkins and stuff that's taking up boxes, which is really like not a need.
No,
And then I'm just saying,
you
spending
go,
28,
first of all,
29.
go through it and see. That's number one.
We keep things that we do not need to keep that are
Yes.
like 5 years old.
Yes. Okay, and then after that, okay, so we're assuming it's gonna be reduced.
No,
to a
it's reduced for 3 months.
No, I'm talking about the quantity that's in there.
Right,
Where we go through it and we're gonna clear it out, and then what?
and then I was gonna suggest, you know, having committee chairs take whatever is theirs, have board members, president or whatever. Yes, Laura.
Which takes us back to what Teresa said, because we had presidents holding on to stuff. But the reality is, we're facing this economic reality because we never had to for 18 and a half years.
Yeah.
Because we had free storage and a combination of CD10 and the
CD10.
firehouse, but we lost 100% of our stuff at the firehouse during COVID. They,
Throw it all.
well, there's a
Let's
whole.
not go back there.
Yeah,
No,
okay,
no,
keep
there's
moving.
a whole story, but the point is that went away and whatever was in there went away. And then what was at Council District 10 went to Greg and Chris, and then it couldn't stay, you know, they're board members, but they couldn't keep it. So we had to put it in storage. So I think it's a bite the bullet. I mean, even if we reduce the amount, because I don't think we should be requiring an outreach chair who's the person who requires the most stuff to keep it at his or her home. And that's the person who does events, takes both the handouts, but often also the water bottles, maybe the paper plates. I mean, that's, I mean, it shouldn't be kept in
Before we
someone's home.
jump there, I think we should actually see what's in there.
We know what's in there.
Okay,
We
you
know.
do. Okay, okay,
We know what's.
I have no clue. Okay, so do you have a suggestion?
I have some thoughts,
Okay,
since we're talking here.
yeah,
Okay, first of all, I want to say, as a president of this illustrious organization, during my tour of storage, I have not lost one minute.
okay, thank you.
I do want to say
Okay,
that in my
Go on record.
cellar, there's probably some old bottles of water that we probably.
that could be thrown away
Yeah.
now.
So I want to say that. I did ask CD10 for some space,
Oh, good.
and then they said, well, how much space we looking at? And I told them, they said, oh, we don't have that much.
Right.
Then I said, what about, can we do this? So we were brainstorming. So it is on their radar, but we don't have a specific solution.
Well, even if they took some of this.
So look, this art supply thing is about what we should have.
No, Grace.
Now if we're gonna do
Grace is a
outreach.
man-
Not
Grace-
if you do outreach.
Grace, in my opinion. I understand where Grace is going, but we have more stuff than that. So stuff that you might say, we're never gonna use that. Those stands, we got some metal stands, but you can't throw them away. We have like flag poles, like we have a meeting, stuff like that. So that takes up space. So,
It's the stuff that goes out to events.
yes.
I mean, when we're tabling,
Mhm.
and we can't really ask somebody to keep that in their house.
I'm getting my basement redone.
We get paid. Well, for the moment, we
So I
just,
wouldn't put it in my basement.
I'm
put it in my
joking.
And then there's,
But it's cheaper than this. I'm
Yes,
like,
it is.
there's no place like, there's no place where we have the Gramercy's apartment, that is an apartment.
No, we have some storage over there. We have a shelf.
Oh, a shelf.
So for our-
Okay, do we have any storage here? No,
No, we don't, but I guess in reality, we could.
What's in our
use-
drawers?
We could purchase a shed and see if we could put it
That was
in
my
that.
thought.
Yeah,
And.
That's what I asked about UNNC, I mean, CD10. We could buy a shed with that much money and put it on the lot, but they said people breaking into them.
Oh, they
Oh,
can bring
yeah.
into it.
Yeah,
even if you put it in the backyard, I think people.
Well, I don't know about here.
well, there's a renovated, in those metal containers, you know, the metal containers.
Okay.
The storage things.
Yes.
Not a shed, but the old.
Yes, the big like.
Like a locker, like a big
Railroad
locker.
The pod box, the pods.
Yeah,
Oh,
like that,
yeah.
that's what's back there now, but that was placed there by the city, so, she could get a smaller one, you know, I mean, if that's something you do.
Yes.
It's
Well,
still,
since you're talking to CD10 and they don't have room in the building that's here. But would they have room for this, metal storage shed on their parking lot?
Which parking lot?
Western. Where
That's what
That's
they're
what
saying,
I was
would it be
asking.
safe?
That's,
That would
that's,
get into.
they're saying it would not be safe.
yeah,
Yeah, they know.
we didn't say,
No, they don't.
we didn't say, we're not, this. Well, I'm confused about what you're saying. I'm talking about their regular office.
Yes.
Obama. They're
Oh,
regular, okay, they have
I'm
now,
confused where they're at.
Yeah.
they have two places, they have three places where they're at, the other one's Koreatown, forget it.
I don't wanna go to Obama, we're not way over there. We're not
well,
traveling.
and I don't think we should have any exterior storage, unless it
No,
is a container, like a pod, I
Okay,
don't think we should have that.
No,
And
I
they're
agree,
expensive.
I agree
Okay.
with that. Except that in the past, there was exterior storage at Western and 18th. You're saying that's
They
unsafe.
say they would
Fine.
get broken into.
And there, and that's the building you're talking to them about, could we have
Yes.
a closet?
Yes, no space in the,
Okay,
the space
so-
in
when you say you don't wanna go to Obama, you don't, I mean,
Well,
they're.
they're not offering it first.
Well, we haven't asked. Their actual new field office is at the Metro
It's pretty
building,
roomy.
and it's roomy, there might be a closet there.
Yeah, that's where I thought you were talking.
I
So
was-
we should ask that, even though you're saying, oh, it's so far, it's really actually,
From the corner from me.
yeah, I mean, it's not really a great place for us to have a meeting, because it isn't within our footprint, but it's right across the street from our farthest south and west footprint.
That was my question to Greg, if they have an office on the other side
Yeah, we
of
can't have a meeting.
Obama's. Then they're not in, that's.
They're in what, they're in.
They're not in their own footprint.
there.
They're in CD10.
You said it was further south than.
Our neighborhood council boundary is down the center of Crenshaw, but from a,
We're a small village.
but in terms of accessibility, it's certainly not as accessible as Washington Boulevard to some of us, but
Yeah.
might be equally accessible depending who needs to access it.
Okay.
No,
So-
I'm just saying 2,900 a year for storage for us to
It's
do.
10% of our budget. It
Okay,
it
so-
seems shocking, but we may have to bite that bullet.
Go ahead, Greg.
So based upon the input of the committee, I should revisit the question, the conversation with CD10 and say, yeah, we were talking about over here, what about your old office or your new office? What do you have over there?
Do you have
And what
tools that
about
we could use?
closet, and what about, so that's one question. What about buying a pod and putting it over there or putting it over here?
Yeah, over there, the parking lot would be really exposed, so I don't think. Obama, the parking lot is huge, which is a plus.
Yeah, no,
But
no,
it's very
no, it's not
exposed.
safe. And
It's
right
not
across from the line.
What about a pod here?
Oh, no.
And that's the,
We could do it in the back, I mean, there's a pod there now in the back.
When you say that, you mean South Sea's house.
South Sea's house,
South
it
Sea's
has, you know, Halloween and Christmas decorations. I don't know,
how,
how space
but how accessible is it
for us or
for us?
well, we have to,
Coordinate?
yeah,
When they're open.
And they're open, in 10 to 6, Monday through Friday, and 10 to 2 on
Saturday, so,
Saturdays.
so for a Sunday event,
Yeah,
We
exactly.
just have to get Saturday.
it's not that big of a deal to pick something up on a.
Yeah, and it's not you, it would be outreach, it would be someone.
No, no,
else.
I can't.
Let's move on. All right, we got that. So we need a new storage space. So I have 2 action items on that.
Yes, however, in terms of approving the budget, we need to keep this, we need to put this money into the budget until we have. a
We'll put it
solution.
into the budget,
Yeah.
but I just
Yeah,
say,
but we
We'd like
do
to-
we really want to spend
No,
like
but
nearly
we-
9% of our budget on this.
No, but we need to put it in the budget. for
Okay,
next
we
year.
will.
All right, committee reports, outreach. UNNC elections, further discussion, that's what we wanted.
Lizzie sent
Birthday
you-
problems,
Lizzie-
elections, no attendance.
Lizzie sent you a memo,
How do you know?
because she sent it to me too.
Oh, I didn't see it, I did not see it.
I didn't read it yet.
Dear Executive Committee. I apologize for not being in person at this meeting. As several of you know, I am teaching full-time and taking my pre-service classes towards my teaching credential, which keeps me busy every weekday, well until 9 or 10 p.m. The official results for the UNNC elections are in. Please refer to pages 7 and 8 of the PDF document. I assume that I haven't gotten to the point of reading your document. Although the total number of voters is not indicated, it is safe to assume it was in the 20s. The low number of voters can be attributed to a whole set of extenuating circumstances this particular year, which I would like to have the opportunity to explain to the whole board at our governing board meeting in June.
Right.
However, there are two things I would like to mention here to the executive committee, given that it is related to actions or feedback offered by some of our executive committee members. One is that this year, the pool of candidates was extremely low, making the elections virtually non-competitive. Our president made inquiries to Dunn on whether holding the election was necessary, but there was no response from Dunn. Another is that we had prepared for lack of support in the area of marketing assets, which was the case, and requested a budget to get help from a graphic designer. However, our executive committee acted conservatively and dissuaded the elections committee from using funds for this purpose. We understood and proceeded without any such help, which obviously had consequences in terms of spending extra volunteering hours, working on producing assets, and marketing the elections while understaffed. This year, we had virtually no support from the communications committee, which is unfortunate because the whole elections effort was virtually on the shoulders of only 2 members. We always have had a whole team of 3 to 4 members coordinating the election cycle, not the case this year. Again, I would like to offer the rest of my comments to the entire board next month, but moving forward, we need to get solid support from the entire board membership during the election cycle and be willing to use budget funds and professional help when our volunteering board members are unable to contribute with their skills.
I did not get that.
No, she didn't. She wanted to send it to me and I said, well, send it to my text or send it to the. Okay, so here's what I would like to say in response to the sentiment of that. One of the first questions that was asked when we were talking about elections was how many people voted historically. And historically, the number of people that vote in these elections is low. So that's just a fact. I think that if we had shared that fact in the beginning, it would take away some of the tension or the perception of failure on people's part. The second thing that I want to say is that, yeah, it does take all of us working together to get stuff done. And again, one of our main issues, one of the concerns we have 1 or 2 people trying to do stuff. So that's just the nature of our work right now, 1 or 2 people trying to do the items. The statement, I'm pretty sure that I don't agree with the statement that the executive cut the budget or something like that. Like we didn't give funds. So we gave the election committee a lot of money that we was pretty sure they weren't going to spend. I was pretty sure we weren't going to spend it. So we gave them plenty of money. So the issue was not a lack of money. The issue, and again, not studying in detail, the issue could have been a lack of like the election committee want to do something, communications committee couldn't, or there was a disagreement on that. So I don't see anything that's gained by rehashing that in front of the whole board. And some of you may disagree with me about that, which you have every right to.
Yes.
Yes. So yeah, and the biggest thing for me is that I personally do not believe that we should spend our money on an election where we're being told how to do it. I think the city should pay for the election because they tell us where it's gonna be. They tell us where it's gonna be. And they don't let us use a drop box, which is like, yeah. So to me, it's,
All right, well, that's an ongoing battle.
yeah, it's not a very efficient thing.
Because you're talking about battling the city.
Yeah. Okay, that should come on. So anyway, I understand Ms. Lizzie's comments, frustration. And then when we get into the front of the governing board, she wants to express that. Then she has a right to do that. And then if she has a right to say that, then other people have a right to say what they want to say about what could or should have been done. My point moving forward is like, we need depth on every committee. And we shouldn't have one person.
No,
One person trying to do something is not good. So. And even if it's and this is what I see, even if it's my job to do something, someone else should know how to do what I'm doing. You know?
yes,
Like, hey, can you know, even if you say, okay, you know how to do this aspect of my job, maybe not everything, but to me, that doesn't insult me that other people know what to do in my area. Anyway, that's my thoughts. Yes, ma'am.
Oh,
Yes, ma'am.
that's first.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, first I take, I'm not sure, your sentiment about lower voter turnout is accurate, because during the pandemic, and I ran during the pandemic, and we all know how difficult it was. You had to have people get a ballot, they had to write in to get a ballot, then return the ballot. I got 33 votes, and that is just with me doing some canvassing in my neighborhood. But when you look at the roster of the people who also ran, Dolores got 103 votes. Raheem got 89 votes, or something like that. So there are people who receive votes. I know those were at large, so we vote multiple times. So we do have a turnout when we mark it properly. I received a postcard from West Adams Avenues. Not Avenues, West Adams neighborhood council. Why would I get that? Because they did stronger outreach. And I know Lizzie was busy, and I know she didn't have many people on her team, but I think people need to take personal responsibility for the failure of the election. And I see it as a failure, as I do Earth Day. Because we could have changed that. Nobody wanted to go back to Dunn and say, hey, we don't want to do it at the library, let's do it at South Sea's house. Oh, well, when we brought that up, it was like, no, we can't do it. Just tell Dunn, we're not doing it at the library. We decided we're doing Earth Day and we're going to move it there. That's how we're running our elections. It's an ADA compliant, and we could have done that. Yes, we could have done that. So I agree that maybe we shouldn't rehash it. And I'm sure Lizzie wants an explanation, wants to be an opportunity to explain why it was not successful. And we can blame it on communications, but I don't think that's fair either. It was outreach, and they did have sufficient amount of money. I remember the board voting to give them money for printing and more money and then $5,000. So they had money.
I don't think it was mine. I think it was lack of people. And everybody who was already on the committee, including myself, could have gotten more involved. And I don't even remember, I did not attend. My great grandbaby was in her first cheer competition. And so I was in the valley watching my 5-year-old for a cheer team. But, I could have done stuff before. I think it's just, as Greg has been saying, we need to recommit and really be a part of. And so I'm making my declaration that I'm going to do.
Here. Awesome.
Yeah, I just want to say, it was the city clerk, not Dunn, and we did ask South State's House and some that they had made a choice. We had asked them, can we have a drop box? No, we've decided not to use it. It's like, well, it's right in front of the library. Couldn't you just unlock it? No. Can we not have the election, which would have then allowed us to move the Earth Day? No. Even, we wouldn't let, it was like, no. So it's the clerk. The in terms of working with a clerk who represented us, we had a very bad relationship with the person who was our person. And again, including and not limited to her refusal to give us the contact information for any of the candidates. We
Unbelievable.
we
I still don't understand.
yeah, they didn't have Sarah. Obviously we had Sarah. I mean, but a few of the people I knew, we tracked 2 more people down. I mean.
But it was not coming from the city.
No. So that's a problem, and I don't know if there's a solution to that,
Well,
problem, so it's not even done.
We talked to our council person or her supervisor or whoever. I mean, we just don't accept this. No,
Right.
for you, the power of one.
Exactly, so there's that was one problem, but I don't recall the executive refusing to give us an extra
No,
X
it's not,
for
yes.
professional, but I will say we did not have any professional help on any of the physical graphic material. With the exception of the one postcard that Gabby corrected, meaning I had done a collage, she improved it greatly and created one postcard, but we didn't have anyone to do anything else and no one to do Earth Day. So I think Lizzie's misremembering a specific additional request.
Right.
Or it was too late because it requires, it might have been that what Paul, she may have just talked to Paul and it was too late to create a contract for a graphic artist. That might actually be what happened. I don't really know, because I don't recall a
Yeah, that's.
executive committee discussion on it
That's a whole,
either.
that's a
Yeah.
whole bigger issue.
Let's move on.
But the lesson is there should be a dedicated graphic artist or somehow for any election committee. That is definitely a lesson learned. There should never be a situation where we're relying on volunteers.
I was gonna say, I think that's work that we're gonna have to assume we will have to pay.
Right,
Going
and-
forward.
right, and that it's a requirement attached to any election. So
Somebody got my door.
I also know, Vice President, that I know that the city, Mayor Bass's office is announced that they're looking at UNNC organizations and elections, so maybe that may have something to do with this, maybe.
What?
Well, no, I'm sorry, not just our election, but
All
the
NC.
organization, RNC, so.
Right.
They should, because we waste a lot of money.
Yeah, so we should, if someone sees something, someone sent me something on that, but we should like look into the directions that's going.
And I think it's important, Greg, to look back and see what happened and take that lesson to make sure it doesn't happen again. So we should look back. How much money did we spend on election? I know it becomes tedious when we're having a big meeting, but how much money did we spend on the election? How much money did we spend on Earth Day? And how successful was that? Was it worth our money? Well, in the future, we know, well, you know what, not just that, the CD10 spent $3,700 on the tents and everything, $1,200 for a bunch, so $5,000. And the amount of money that we paid,
was less than that.
Oh, yes.
But we still add it together in terms of.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, so I don't know, I mean, we're not an organization like that, we're just, some volunteers, so.
Hello.
Okay, all right, so that's that part. Planning and zoning, what's that?
I feel that the hearing that might be held today did not get held. I'm not positive about it, but city council was in, okay, the Mills Act Historical Properties Contract Program is now been moved to city council to then move back to the Cultural Heritage Commission. So the motion was scheduled to the city council's committee on planning and land use management today. However, city council was in session in private session until 3:30. on something unrelated to any of them, so the meeting did not begin till about 3:45. And I did listen to it, but I kind of didn't hear them say table, and I didn't hear them deal with it either, but I could have, if I walked away for 30 seconds and they didn't consent, I don't know, but essentially, UNN, the Planning and Zoning Committee tomorrow will be meeting to take a look at this and to make a recommendation to update our letter and resolution, become a community impact statement, and bring that to the governing board on June 1. What's happened is that over time, so we wrote our letter in July of last year. The deadline for public comments was September 15. In January, planning department went to the Cultural Heritage Commission with a director's, I'm going to say report lowercase r, saying we read all the comments and we agree with most of them, and we're going to go in a different direction and not cancel contracts, which was the main thing everybody was objecting to. And some other things that we're not going to do. And then instead, they got Marquise and
Marquise Aristotle.
yes, and somebody anyway to do a motion, which is what was on today's agenda, to essentially consider the original underlying report, which was so fraught with errors, and public comments, to create a new recommendation to go to the Cultural Heritage Commission and the City Council. So I don't know if John had a moment to upload our original letter yet to the council file. We can't do a community impact statement, but we could do public comments. Nandasi, the North Empowerment Congress North, Nandasi, did upload their community impact statement because they already had done one, saying that they oppose using the original report and that it should be a new independent study. West Adams Heritage uploaded a public comment to the same effect with the original letter. And that's, I mean, I've seen the draft of what John's going to do. I just don't know if he's had a chance yet in the public comment. But that's pretty much what we need to do as a community impact statement, that the underlying report completely misstated the economics of the situation and said that the city is losing money when they have all these contracts that have property tax savings for historical things. But the reality is that over time, the total value of all properties in Los Angeles County has increased, in the billions of dollars, the aggregate thing. So city's not losing money on mills at contracts because, like everyone else, the values have risen. So they're actually making more money, not less. So if you start with that faulty premise that they cost too much money, then of course you're going to jump to a conclusion you should cancel contracts. So that doesn't change. I just don't know if the council tabled it today or not. But the thing today would be to move it back to planning and culture. So we have to. So that's that. Then someone mentioned at governing board was school grace that the oil drilling Murphy drill site appeal has a hearing
June 20th,
June 20th, not May 20th.
not May 20th, June 20th.
So we don't have that on our agenda for tomorrow, but it could be under old business. We just don't have it. I don't think UNNC needs to take a further action. I think we have our position. Is that right?
I think
I
we
can't
did. Pretty sure we
remember.
did.
From a long time ago.
Yeah.
So I do think we may need to,
Just resubmit.
well, verify if we ever call it a community impact statement. So the way we do community impact statements is we put the phrase community impact statement on an agenda and vote for CIS. Not all neighborhood councils do it that way. We do. So if we never did that, we should do that.
So does that mean for the upcoming agenda for June
Right.
first,
If
we
we
should
can-
say CIS?
If we need to
No.
verify if we already do have a CIS. We certainly have a letter, a resolution, we certainly have all of that, but we may not have done a committee.
Let me see if Brittany and Richard know.
They would know, they follow us.
I know, so they are on top of this, and I asked Brittany to go up on June first for public comments, to share an update, so.
Well, maybe she could show up tonight.
I don't know, I'll try.
Yeah,
Brittany,
but so anyway, we may need to do that, and the other thing is, and I know we don't need to do it. Well, we might, shoot. The 1848 Gramercy also has been appealed on a CEQA basis to city council, so at some point it will have a council file number. I don't remember if we called it, I think we did pass that letter as, oh, how would I know? You tell us.
Well, no, I'm just gonna say, I think it's inappropriate for you to be talking about it.
I agree, so should I
Yes.
walk out of the room for a
Well,
minute?
no,
No, stop talking.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, and no, but I want to say something about that because Laura, I'm not sure if you brought to the attention of the executive committee that someone filed a complaint that
Oh, right.
you,
I'm a paid lobbyist.
yes, so I think that'd
I think
be
it's
important
part of
that
it.
the board, that Laura brought that up and that happened a few months ago. And also the fact, and I know you mentioned that it was a mistake, that you were on the appeal, so that also kind of justifies their initial complaint against you that
Well, a paid
You're
lobbyist is a paid lobbyist, so I'm not that for sure. For darn sure, but so it was dismissed at the ethics. But someone is very concerned.
I'm just saying that it should have been brought to at least executive, and I don't even know if we discussed it with planning and zoning, but
No.
it should have been brought to executive that someone filed a complaint against you. And regarding 1848, you certainly should not be talking about that.
I agree with you,
Yeah.
so.
So there's an appeal, and I don't know, maybe John could bring it up or discuss it, the planning and zoning.
Well, what I don't, well, the reason I'm stumbling is I suddenly realized, why would I know? Because I really had ethically walked out of every Zoom meeting. I don't know, did you do a community impact statement or not? So that needs to be verified.
But I
but
believe
the fact that you.
we did because John spoke. So in order to speak, I believe we have to have uploaded public comments, in our case, it's CIS, and John spoke.
So we probably don't need to do anything
We
again.
need meetings back.
Well, my point is then probably UNNC does not need to take it up. If the word community impact.
No, stop, don't talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
They don't talk about it at all.
yeah.
No suggestions,
Don't talk
no,
about it, don't.
anything.
Don't talk about it.
all right, so,
But on that topic, since that topic has been raised, Teresa will talk to John and or Teresa will know and John will know and bring it back to us. The updates that's,
So let's remember that if it is to be discussed,
but
you
don't,
have to leave, no, just I'm reminding you, we don't have to leave the room.
well,
Yeah,
you know
so
that,
I think
we need to remind you that we know we need to go. Talk about it. Okay, what else? Any other committees?
okay, yes, the next thing is other committee reports.
so the Public Safety and Emergency Preparedness Committee would
Oh,
like
yes.
to be supportive of the outreach efforts of Amos Memorial CME Church that's happening on May 31st at 12 noon. To reach out to the neighbors, and we'll also share about our upcoming July mini certs that are happening. So I'm requesting funding up to $200 for refreshments for that day.
May 31st?
Yes,
Yeah, well, hold on, Laura, please.
I'm asking for the funds that were already set aside.
Wait a minute.
Yes,
While you're getting your thoughts together, we have a lot of waters left over from Earth Day. If we want to
I
remove those from
yes,
storage.
I would like to, I will do so.
I also,
Okay, wait, let's.
I'm sorry, I'm speaking slow. They said folks from Virginia speak slow, so. The funding. The way that we do have money for outreach stuff. And the issue is that the date of that is before the next meeting. So we can't bring that up to the board. But, make sure they have what they want, okay? Just, and we'll,
What, and then who's paying and we'll reimburse somebody?
we'll reimburse, we'll figure a way to reimburse. Yes,
I think frozen in somebody's freezer are the leftover pastries and stuff from the.
nobody wants those.
Nobody wants pastries?
Nobody wants those.
The wrapped
They're
pastries?
not that good.
Well, they aren't that good, but they're totally legal.
We had 60 people at the last one
They're not
that
that
I paid for and did not seek reimbursement. But this one, I thought, since
You can
we,
give it- Yes, we will reimburse.
I don't want reimbursement, I'm just saying for this one, moving forward, it's, we have the funding. Why do I have to get the general board with the executive board can just say
You
yes
can't
to?
do that.
Is
So
it
that
not
means-
have, do we not already have that in our budget and
We have it in our budget, but we don't have the authority to say we can't spend the
Still
money.
have to have these.
Yes, we can't do
Yeah,
that.
we don't. It's-
So there's, I mean, it's not that we don't. It's consistent, but the rules are, it needs to go before the general board, so we can be reimbursed. Like, for example, this board owes mom some money that they never gave me back, but just to make the point, so we reimburse you.
Well, right, but what's
Why
wrong
you-
with those wrapped pastries that?
Stop.
We're over that.
Yeah, talking about reimbursement, we're talking about.
No, I thought there was, you're not allowed to reimburse board members unless it was approved in advance.
That's something different.
Yeah,
That's
this is
for
food.
events.
This is for food, because, yeah.
Yes,
I mean-
but keep in mind, last year, a year and a half ago, I bought that external drive without permission, but then we came to the board and we asked, we got a
Yeah,
BAC.
yes,
So you can get reimbursed.
we can reimburse you.
I'll do it that way. Thank you.
Welcome.
Up to $200 is what I'll spend.
Okay.
And then
I'll
for.
for the pastries again.
Let's just.
No, stop.
One shop. The next one is, remember how I shared with you how Southwest had a fire? for
Yes.
Christmas?
Yes.
Oh, right.
So we thought it'd be a really good boost to the morale if we can get their car, the patrol cars. There's 45 of them. And I think if
The cars got burned?
cars did not get burned, but
But they are without, some, like the Olympic Division has a car washing contract.
Mhm.
They do not have one in Southwest.
Mhm.
They do not have, their workout room is, they don't have, well, right now they're not using it, but they have running water. That the building is old and dilapidated, so compared to some of the other adjoining police stations, they are
How
without.
much?
so up to $540 for 45 cars. I'm hoping to be cheaper.
Oh, I thought you were gonna suggest us get up. Already, you know, I got my
We
cheese
are
on.
not gonna do that. Thank you very much.
This part of you.
Hearing
I'm gonna be in the good graces of the police department.
Okay, there you go.
They're gonna remember
I
me.
have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
And
That's
this
fair.
effort credit card,
I believe so.
you'd have to know, so.
It's negotiating with a local car wash, vouchers or something.
Yeah, so I was buying with a credit card.
Yeah, you better.
Right, because we use a credit card through June 20.
I will, no, I'm,
Okay.
as soon as I get the approval, whether it's today or June 1st,
Yeah,
I'm
you
planning
can-
to go ahead and purchase.
Do you have a car wash in mind?
I saw two.
There's one near me too, I can,
Which one is that one?
it's the one at Western and. Jefferson.
Is it called Joe Bell?
Is it a real
Maybe.
human oriented one or just?
No, I mean, there's one you can do yourself, but no, there's one you drive through.
Drive,
It's just drive-through, right? So is this the one if you go at 7 to 10 in the morning, it's $7?
I don't know, I've never been in
See,
there.
see, I looked around
That's
the
a good
prices,
deal.
okay?
What's the one at Western and east side of Western, between 18th
I
and.
just want another car wash. You want $540 for.
Up to $540, yes.
Take our car.
45 cars.
What's the date of this thing range?
You basically would just get vouchers and they would
The
do it when they
vouchers,
need
they
to.
can do it when they need to, there's 45 cars, so that's how I get it. So
Then it
if
doesn't
you were
have to set time.
allocating
Unless you wanna go
$12 per car, it'd be $540. I'm trying to get it to.
Bring back our student council days.
I know.
No, I'm good.
Do it.
Laura has
It's gonna be cheaper if we watch.
Laura has her hand up.
Grace, do you know, is there in effect, a Friends of the LAPD or in particular?
Southwest has a friends participating.
No, but it's not, is it or is it not a 501c3?
I don't know, it's run by an owner who owns Popeyes and some other.
Probably not.
Probably not. But I'm saying, going forward, if they have a dilapidated exercise room and blah, blah, blah. If there was a way to find an appropriate nonprofit, because the fire department has one, and you know.
Most other police stations have a 501c3 attached to their police station.
But Southwest is.
Well, we are not sure.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying for next year, we can't do any more MPGs anyway this year.
No.
It would be a really nice MPG.
Yes, we will try
To
We will
help.
try.
And also, not my state, but there are people who may not want to support the police. So let's just know that they
Yeah.
come up, so,
Especially historically in South LA.
yeah,
Yes.
so.
And I will ask that question again, so
That's
we get the
why-
vouchers, they are planning on using them in this calendar year.
Oh, of course. Oh, no, you mean this fiscal year?
This, yes,
That wouldn't,
our year.
I don't know if it's necessary.
As
It's
long as,
not, I just wanna know.
well, I think their cars are dirty and they want to get it washed.
So they're not gonna wait till December.
Yeah.
Right, but I think the purchase needs to be in June.
Yes,
Technically, they should
Soon,
find,
she just said June first,
Yes.
soon as we get the BAC, that she will go and look at it.
Yes.
Okay,
Pay
so
for it.
it's their concern.
technically, I know they can use it in December, but I want to.
Yeah.
Money
Alright.
spent is used, the
Next.
services will render.
Next item is old business, and that was e-blast. And there was discussion, Greg, that you are the only one that could send out an e-blast. And you
That is
said,
not
no,
true.
it's not.
That's not true.
no, it's Greg, it's Laura.
Right, could not do it. He had a very difficult time sending out the email.
It's my skill set.
The point is,
No, I got your point.
yeah, that Laura's the only one, and she mentioned that maybe
Well-
Raheem, but Raheem told me that he could not do it. And we were in a bind to get up.
Is it he could not do it or he cannot do it?
It said he did not know how anymore, but he did know how when I became president, so I think he's lost his skill set. And
So what's the answer?
Here's the answer. Okay, so yes, currently Laura's doing it. I've done it a few times, but then I forget, just like my other stuff, I know how to do it and forget. Raheem and the communication committee should be able to do it. I'm gonna look to my left, to our secretary to ask her if she's willing to learn how to do those items also.
Is this a MailChimp thing?
yeah,
Yeah, I probably not.
Yeah. So that way, again, not having a lot of people do these things, but just having depth
Yes.
for things. Just like uploading the agendas, like right now. I upload the executive and the governing board, then like Ms. Paula will know how to do that. We just need to coordinate what we're uploading to make sure it's up to date. Committees are uploaded by someone else.
Laura goes on committees,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, so the point is that, the point is well taken, is that any organization where you only have one person doing something, that person is down, then your organization's down. So it's not efficient, it is not,
No.
it's the reality,
Bottlenecking.
right, and not bottlenecking in a malicious way or intentional way or.
No.
No, we just call it what it is.
Just-
Yeah, and so, and I will say. I've benefited from like other people doing stuff because I'm like, I ain't got time. I don't wanna do
That
it,
happens too.
I don't wanna do it, like someone sent me something the other day and said, my response was. Nice, quick talk, next quick talk. Cause let me loop in our people that does that.
Mhm.
Because we have people that will do that and it has the information for you, so not trying to hog the stuff. Okay, let's go.
That's it.
Can we be this?
Agenda items for next meeting.
Yeah.
And this, again, when we say this is agenda items for the governing board.
Yes.
It's not,
for
it's
the
not
gov-
for.
Right, for the governing board, we're going to revisit the chairs and the committees.
Yes.
We're going to allow Lizzie that opportunity to share about elections. We're going to add CIS for the Murphy drill site.
Yes.
And
NSCIS.
Oh, we're going-
CIS.
Budget.
yeah, we're gonna reimburse Grace for the refreshments for the public safety.
right?
And the 540.
Funding,
And the leaves.
funding request for the labels.
That was 400.
That's not enough.
I think we should do 450 for the labels.
I think the request was 400.
It was,
But
it
now-
is, but since we're doing it, I'm asking for 450. I'm scared that it's gonna be.
Oh, right, you're involved with the hand grants, okay,
My hand is sort.
yes.
So the item that I had sent you that we didn't put on this agenda.
Yes.
But it's mandatory, approve, admin packet and budget 23-24. And Paul will create it and it has a lot of stuff in it. And it will need to then happen again in July because we'll have different financial officers. But if we don't approve it in June, our money is frozen.
Okay,
It's really so silly. I know
Yes,
we
but
can't,
it's
do it, it's
just-
just so dumb.
I know.
There are so many things I just.
Okay, that it may be, but.
I know. We heard you, we'll do it. Your fault.
Yeah, no, it's my fault, and this bureaucrat remembers this problem. And then the other thing we have to do is on the assumption that you and Greg have successful conversations with the people we think are incoming board members. We need to, once again, I and Candace have to resign again because we both won our respective slots, but we already have agreed to serve in other positions. And then we need to appoint respectively Davina in Area 1 and Mr. Lou.
We didn't get in touch with those.
We haven't even talked to those people, but on June 1st, I mean, we need to appoint them unless we wait till July, but we need, meaning we need to properly fill our seats.
We need to find them.
talk
Oh, we
to,
have,
can you guys talk about that?
sure, but that's an agenda item,
Yeah.
most likely.
Okay.
Well,
Gibson told,
And he,
Go ahead. Why you?
no, because Gibson said we need to appoint them at the June meeting. So that we don't have vacancies come July 1.
Well, if we have vacancies, well, as long as we have, what difference does it make? And I'm telling you, I'm, it's not my meeting, but I have a lot of problems with this.
with appointing,
Yes,
Well,
a lot of,
how are you gonna fill the seats? They're gonna be appointed one way or the other.
it's not, if we have, or we
You said-
can appoint them at the,
No, I'm saying those two seats will be appointed one way or the other, so we either open the process wide or we appoint the people we had sort of agreed we were gonna. I mean, I'm not doing a value judgment here, I'm just saying,
I'm listening to both of you. I neither.
I can't
Yep.
hold two seats and neither
I
can.
know that, that's not the point right now. That's not the point. That's not my point. And I understand Teresa's concern. It's a process concern. I understand that. My question is, my concern, and I was told that's not a good word either. My inquiry is that I want to, where are these people?
Well, yeah, I said,
You
assuming you
said-
guys have successful conversation.
Well, and then Ms. Paula said, you get in touch with them. Earlier I'd said.
yes, send me
you
that
get
information.
So you can.
Yeah.
Then I take it
I
as.
can send you that
Okay,
information in
all
the
right.
morning. It's really lovely if somebody sends me an email tonight, just tell me, I'm gonna.
To
just
remind
made
you?
this promise.
Okay,
No, I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna take my new island meds, make me fall
Are we done?
asleep and I'll forget.
yeah.
Thank you.
All right, so we are calling this meeting. It is 8:49. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
want to say that I do, I'm trying to recruit Michael to be the new tech person. Michael,
Sandra.
no.
Oh,
no,
no.
Michael
Oh,
Sargent.
Solarstrom.
Yes, who's a.
Harvard Heights.
Oh, I don't.
He's newly elected. I actually got him
He's a great
to
guy.
run,
Oh, great.
because I went and chatted up some people.